Good day, all. I got another Foreign Objects beer to review. I've really liked all the beers I've had from them so far. I guess I've only had 3. And this one is called Willful Delusions of False Perceptions. And I like how with all these IPAs, they just say ale with hops down there. And the DDH is our normal. I know they've made one dark beer, and it probably says something different on there, because I assume it's not double dry hopped. But this one has a really interesting mix of hops. It's Melba and Topaz hops, and I'm pretty sure this one's really fresh. It was probably canned a little over 2 weeks ago. It's 6.5% alcohol. Topaz is a hop that's from New Zealand, I believe. Yeah, definitely a Southern Hemisphere hop. Really unique. And then Melba is one of the newer, really fruity American hops, I believe, but it isn't used in a lot of beers. It's not really popular, so I don't really have an idea of its character. And this one they just say tropical flowers, red berries, candied citrus fruit. What do tropical flowers smell like exactly? Like hibiscus? I'm guessing Melba is just a little bit like Mosaic, maybe, or Simcoe. But let's get down to it. Looks really good. Looks just like all the other Foreign Object ones. That is extra thick though. This might be the most opaque and hazy I've had from them. Really nice head. Again, this is a brand new brewery. They've only been sending out beers since last fall, and I think they said that they were, in the works for a long time, so they knew what they were doing right when they opened. And this is just a fantastic looking IPA with all that haze. It has this nice head in there. I really appreciate that, because a nice creamy head on a creamy body of IPA is just very pleasant experience. Not quite Mosaic. It has that fruit cup thing going on though. Yeah, I don't get the quite as intense fruity pebbles and peach as I do from Mosaic, but this one's big on pineapples and peaches and syrup maybe. Big on the pineapple, like actually smells a lot like pineapple juice. And I'm not noticing much green, kind of sharper white winier characteristics like you get from Topaz, I think. But really nice. I really love how it has a really intense pineapple juice quality, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be super duper sweet. It doesn't smell like I'm just going to be drinking a syrupy kind of mess of a beer. There seems to be some kind of hop resin quality, but it's not coming through as anything that's really vegetal. Ooh, that's quite bitter. Has lots of body, but then, yeah, there's a little bit. It might be a little bit too hazy actually, because I'm getting some of that chalkiness. Usually it takes like a little bit for that to build up, but on the first sip of this one, in the end, it's very bitter, very chalky. This might be my first Foreign Objects that I don't really like. The aroma is really great. It doesn't have a weird chalky sort of aroma. There are no weird chemically sort of things going on. The smell is really nice. But the bite is just a little too much. It really dries out your tongue, gives you intense cat tongue. Every single one of my taste buds is just like full of chalky texture right now. And the bitterness kind of sticks on the sides of my tongue. Wow, this is probably one of the most intense 6.5% alcohol IPAs I've had. Wow. Ooh, I wonder if that's in part coming from the Topaz, because that intensity reminds me a little bit of Austin Street's Neverender, and that one is mostly Topaz and some Galaxy. I think the Topaz really brings in this chalkiness, this sharp, super clean, bitter bite. And now I'm noticing a teeny bit of menthol, sort of lingering, almost minty quality that I seem to notice in most Southern Hemisphere hops. But there isn't much of it in the aroma. You gotta breathe real deep to get past all that fruity Belma. And at first, when it just falls on my tongue, it seems nice and creamy. Has a little bit of that sweet cake sort of thing going on. But then it's a little bit too bitter for me, honestly. It's not to the point where it's detracting from all the other flavors so much. It just lingers, really chalky and really bitter. Like also with lots of IBUs, I feel like this has straight up international bitterness unit bitterness, not just bitterness that has to do with all that sediment or all the stuff in there that creates this mouthfeel that's chalky and full of sticky bitter resin. I'm definitely going to finish this beer, but I don't know if I had another can of this, I would probably let it sit for a while, and maybe some of this would fall to the bottom. And all the other Foreign Objects IPAs did have a good amount of bitterness, but it wasn't kind of unpleasant to like this one where like now the whole back of my tongue, it just seems like I licked a pine tree or something like that. Really woody and resinous and bitter. A lot of people might like that though. They might be like, whoa, this is really intense beer, super fruity, got that big explosion. This might be totally up a lot of people's alleys, but it's just really a little bit on the edge. If I mix this with a milder IPA, it probably would suit my taste perfectly, which I'm not totally against these days. I like blending beers, especially because I get a lot of similar beers, and then one of them might just be a little bit too sweet and have not so much going on, and this one has lots of stuff going on. But I would still recommend this, or just any Foreign Objects. If you like the hazy juicy thing, they're one of my favorite new places. Maybe I'm getting a little bit used to it, but it does. Now I'm getting some of the burn in the back of my throat, the Trillium type thing that you get from their really intensely hopped beers. This is for people who like double dry hop Trillium beers. You'll probably like this one, but it has totally different hops than Trillium uses. They have never used Belma or Topaz. I like that combo though. Just wish it were a little easier in the finish. So I'll probably give this a 4+. It could easily jump to 4 or 5 for me. It's just that the finish of a beer has to be pleasant. It has to be pleasant to drink the entire thing. And I just have to say that, yeah, I would probably maybe not totally enjoy the last few sips of this if it got warm and flat. But I'm still going out on a limb and recommending it. Goodbye.